farm for taxes. This is done through agriculture, and we get an abatement on our taxes. And the place runs so dear to me, I have to talk through my happy tears. But, so it's been 30 years now I've had the good fortune of participating in organic growing and sharing with New York City primarily. More recently, our CSA locally, and we're in 3 Brewster markets. So we're busy. We have a farm stand down on the roadside where you'll be able to follow up on any of these and more. But today, 5 years ago, Emily joined Ryder Farm, and it really is the match now of arts and agriculture. And it's a marriage. The arts are thriving from the nurturing of agriculture. And agriculture is being supported in events just like this by Space. So applaud to everybody. Okay, today I've been asked to talk about herbs. I did this last year, and it was a real hit. So I said, no, let's just do it again. It was good. So years and years ago, 30 years ago, I made the cheat cards, which I'll refer to so I don't miss anything. But herbs are, what I'm showing here today, basically culinary herbs. I do sell them at the Green Market down in Manhattan. There are different ways to preserve herbs, and I know that that's one thing that people always want to know is how can I save my herbs, keep them. And a lot of them, the things that feel oily, like sage, like rosemary, like thyme, you can hang and dry. And when I hang them, I let them get dry. And I have to say, these are called bonus bunches. They're like 2 for 1 here. Opening day special, or you interns that are coming on board. But what happens is they get dry when you leave them hanging. And then when you want to use them, you just crumble them over what you want and hang them back up again. So I do that all winter long. And whenever I run out, I say, what is wrong with me? Because I have access to a lot of these bunches. But I'm going to be passing them around, but I wanted to just point that out, the drying part. The other, I think everybody knows probably well with basil, is pesto. You make it into a paste and freeze it. That's the way you can keep your basil. Hard to keep it any other way. You can get basil flakes to use a lot of flavor. But things like dill, like chives, horror, I don't see my chives here. But you all know chives, at least that's a common one. People basically know chives. I have 2 kinds, chives that are onion flavored and garlic chives, which are garlic flavored. And the difference is that the onion is round and the garlic is flat. And I must have dropped some on the way or something. I had to run back for one, or out for another one. But chives, dill, savory is, savory could probably dry too, but what you do with these is chop them like you would want to use them, and then put them in cellophane and roll them up like a cigarette, and put them in your freezer. And then when you want to use them, you just chop off the amount you want to use. So those are a few tips on keeping your fresh herbs into a little later. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to start with sage. It's a big bunch, so I'm going to ask you to divide it and pass it, and you can feel it and touch it and talk about it. You all know sage. So this is one of those that dry well. You can just pass the bunches along, things, you'll share them all. I'm sorry about this. Sage, it's, they all have meanings and all that sort of thing. And part of it, one of its first meanings here is immortality. And they say that back in the Roman days and so on, when the soldiers went off, they would sew these herbs into their garments. Try to keep them safe. Domestic virtues, can't have enough of that, right? And esteem, which is always a good thing to keep up. Uses are culinary, soups, sauces, stewing, especially known with chicken in particular, breads, and also for strewing. A lot of people use that. And I'll tell you another trick. Once you get these dried herbs and you have more than you ever use, and fresh ones come and old ones are going, I put them in my vacuum cleaner. I take the dried herbs and smash them up and vacuum them up, or spring them around the rug and vacuum them up. And it helps refresh the, you know, vacuum cleaner, you're dispensing a really nice smell, but I like to think I'm dispensing domestic virtue. And they are available throughout the season. They are a perennial. It's the same plant that comes back next year. It gets a little bigger. And distinguishing feature I gave on behalf of the marketer, long, narrow leaf and an oily texture. So I hope you all had a chance to share some sage. I'll just take it off the top here. Tarragon. This is a Mexican variety. This is what you would freeze. And I'll just share along and strew a little on the floor as we go. Everybody? An aphrodisiac.
Oh, really?
And a brain tonic. Can't get enough of that tarragon. It's a culinary use, popular with fish, eggs, salad dressings, best stored frozen. Availability, once used to be somewhat limited. The problem being that this is Mexican tarragon, and it is very available. It keeps growing. It's nice. I can cut and come again, and I have it through the season. But it is not French tarragon, and I'm reminded of that from time to time. I had to put it on my card, Mexican variety, because the French tarragon is a little woodier, so it's a little slower to return. And for harvesting for Union Square Market, I needed something that was coming along a little more. So we went without tarragon for a long time until we found that. Long, narrow leaves on a woody stem, tender, and it has sort of a licorice flavor, the tarragon. And you're welcome. I'm passing these around so you can all smell them and taste them. Take a bite. Just if you just chunk your teeth on it a little bit, you'll get the aroma from them. Thyme, a real common herb here. You know, you can grab a little and you'll have a whole little bunch before you leave, and you can put it in your soup. Take a little as you go. Check it out. There you go. You pass it on back, please. Okay, time. Courage. Can't get enough time either, right? Culinary, general purpose, soup, salads, meats, stuffings, breads. It does dry well, and its distinguishing features, very small round leaves on woody stems. It comes also in other varieties, which kind of come and go. I don't have anything on it, but lemon thyme. And you can also get thyme in a variegated yellow, which is real pretty, something a little different.
I got a question about the time.
Yeah.
Is there ever enough time?
There's never enough time. I say that all the time. And I hate running out of time.
And you can't save time at all.
But you have all the time there is. There's never going to be
the way
any
to
more
go.
time.
Okay, garlic chives, you're going to have to go without. I don't have them. But they're a flat chive, and their symbolism is power of the universe. I tell you, these herbs are good things. Culinary adds a flavor of garlic, raw or cooked, especially in soup, salads, eggs, potatoes. Best stored frozen. Availability is throughout the season. And the interesting thing about the chives and the garlic chives is that they will blossom in the season. And they come up with these beautiful little flowers, almost looks like a clover, that kind of flower. And if you nip it right in the bud, you can release all of those little petals. And it's a great garnish to salads, eggs, you know, the sour cream on your baked potato. They're real nice in their blossoms. And we sell the blossoms as much as, you know, they're in season. So chives, again, I will be quick. Power of the universe as well. It's just, the culinary adds flavor of onions, raw or cooked, especially in soup salads, frozen. Mint is a fun one, and actually I left to go get the mint because I must have dropped it. But this is the black mint.
Mojitos.
Mojitos. We did a lot on mojitos. But I like just breaking it up so that you all feel like you can take some and pass it around. You can break through that rubber band. But this is called black mint. It's a peppermint. It's a really favorite mint. I like this mint.
Is there a spearmint?
My other mint is missing. I can't believe I don't have.
Do you want me to run back and see it?
I must have dropped it on the way. I can tell you where to get spearmint. Who wanted to do that? Is there?
I'll get it.
At my back, you know my door?
Yes.
On the right-hand side, it's fuzzy leaves, you can smell it immediately, just grab 5 of them. You know, just pop them off the top. Thank you so much. So we got real good spearmint coming in a minute. And in the meantime, this is called a common mint, not a favorite mint by my standards. But we do have, it grows, you know, you get these little plants and you get things started and so you kind of follow through with them.
What kind of mint is that?
That's a spearmint, but not the one that's coming.
What is this? This is some kind of mint. Inferior.
All right, that's a common mint. This is an apple mint. Now, I quit selling this. Again, it's something I don't do. But it has an appley flavor. And it's in the mint family. Now, the mint family you'll know because it has a square stem. Oops, sorry, pass it around.
This is the.
So it's an apple. And a lot of these things, the way we prepare them is in an infusion. And what you do is boil the water, take the water off the boil, and take your bunch and crush it. Don't break it, don't make million pieces. Just crush it. And I tell everybody, you have to go swirl, swirl, dunk, 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 swirl, swirl. Then leave it in there and not more than 15 minutes, or it starts to get like a vegetative taste. But 10, 12 minutes, great. Swish, swish, dunk, dunk, pull it out, try to squeeze it, it's gonna be very hot, but use a couple of spoons or something, try to get the rest of that last out. And then you'll have the mother for a larger volume. So you make a little pot and you put it in a gallon of cold water, or you use a lot of ice to help dilute it. And you put that in your fridge and you've got this beautiful minted water for the week. And it's real nice. And we're saving the best for last on these herbs, on these mints. Right. This one is called bergamot. And I went out and picked this real quick because I didn't have any at market to bring up my heart. But so it's not as big. But bergamot is also known as bee balm. You all know bee balm? It's a flower. It can be a flower. But it, I'm told, is also called Oswego tea. And it's because back in the British days, when they were sending the tea over the side of the ship, the Oswego Indians provided this herb to the settlers as their tea. So Oswego tea. And I think it is what Earl Grey is made of. Is that right? Yeah. So it's a lovely, lovely tea, that is. Okay. One before the last. Now this is always a surprise, and I'm at market and people say, oh, do you have any mint? And I say, oh, I have lots of mint. And you know, of course you have to tell, is it the peppermint, is it the spearmint? You know, but I always throw this one in. I say, because you want to know what this one smells like. And it's not what they expect at all, and they just, everybody, I get the same reaction all the time. And you can take a little and split that up and pass it on. This is beautiful. It's called lemon. Hey, see, I'm getting it. The reaction.
Lemon bars.
It's lemon balm. And again, in an infusion in a water that's so nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, I was hoping my spearmint might have arrived. Yeah.
Is it true that wasps do not lay eggs?
You know, I've not heard that. I don't know that. I do think pennyroyal, which I don't have here, is good at repelling insects. I've heard that.
Oh, yeah.
And they tell you, they warn you not to put too much pennyroyal because it has effects. I don't know which one. Okay. Okay, I'm just picking it off the top here. Parsley. And parsley, oh gosh, death and festivity.
At the same time?
Together. Everybody knows parsley, but you gotta know our parsley. So chomp away on this. They're always nice as breath fresheners, right? And palate cleansers, parsley. Don't just leave it there on the side of the plate. All right, so parsley, culinary uses generally as a garnish. Freshens the breath, cleanses the innards also. Best stored frozen or dried, availability is throughout the season. Aha! Oh, there, there's only one away. That's perfect. That's great, thank you so much. Doesn't take much, this stuff's real nice. You can share that, I guess it's small stuff here. So pick them off and check them out. This is the spearmint. There you go, there you go, there you go.
Now, can I ask you,
Yes,
does mint keep growing like crazy, like?
mint will invade a garden.
Okay.
It has runners, it grows by runners. And it's really fun when you want to propagate mint because you go to pull it up and it strings along and pick up all these.
All varieties?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You know what the spearmint is really good for?
Oh, tell me.
If you make green tea and you put lemon, lime, and spearmint in the green tea and some honey,
Uh-huh.
oh my God, not
Summer is especially good time for those, but warm too. You know, put all that together in a warm tea. It's nice.
I tried to actually plant mint with seeds I purchased. Did not get any kind of result at all.
It can be like that. You know, sometimes you try to rely on the seeds and you try to rely on your abilities and
I just
circumstances.
thought it was just so, you know, like.
Sometimes
me.
it has a matter of shallow planting or timing in the planting. Fuad, got any comments on mint from seed? Fuad is our grower here at Ryder Farm. He's the plant manager. He follows after the day-to-day in the fields and is an amazing grower. And generally, I didn't go into propagation of these herbs, but generally you can do by seed. Rosemary, for one in particular, they want you to do rootings of because it's difficult to do by seed, but Fuad does rosemary by seed. So you got any comments there on growing mint, Fuad?
Yes, yes, spearmint from seed is very difficult.
Is it?
Yeah, and those are the one that you really need to do by cutting, the way Betsey does it. But I did try to grow some spearmint from seeds, and the germination is not very good.
Do you
But
think
the
it's-
common mint is pretty easy, and I did grew this year mountain mint, which the germination was good. But I tried with peppermint and spearmint, but germination is like 10% to 20%. I don't know exactly why, but that's my experiences.
Yeah. So it's the roots that I have to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's very easy if you can find those roots.
Yeah.
A lot of you can get your friends out there. Okay, and I'm a friend. Rosemary is a very common, I'm sorry, this one stood out at market all day yesterday. It's a little bit on the drier and a little brown side even, but it's a great one. And rosemary is typically used with lamb. Pass around, please. You guys get I didn't see you guys over here. I hope you're getting all. I would be giving a little more.
They're taking this, I'm taking this.
Way around.
I'm taking this, I'm taking this.
I'm sorry.
Alex, if you'll see me in the kitchen, I'm gonna teach you a little bit.
Okay. Rosemary, remembrance, which I love rosemary, and I think that's why. You don't know? Okay. Constancy and loyalty. Uses are culinary soup, sauces, meats, particularly lamb, strewing at weddings and funerals. You can imagine you want to. Under the pillow for pleasant dreams. And under the cap to avoid forgetfulness. I'm gonna start doing that. It's been a long time since I wrote this card. Best stored dried, availability through the season, a little pine-like needles and oily texture. Do you love rosemary? Isn't that a real favorite? Okay, going off the top. Lemon balm we did. Dill? Dill. Everybody loves dill, right? Dill's great in your potato salad. Eggs. Soups. The other day, Buckshot made, you can go that way with it. Buckshot made an amazing tomato sauce. And I said, you put dill in the tomato sauce? It was awesome. Hey.
Is that the same book?
Yeah.
Yeah.